Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and I actually interrupted editing another video which will be posted in the coming days to just do a quick record of this sort of newsy piece, and that is that NVIDIA has killed off the GeForce Partner Program. So for those of you that don't know, the GeForce Partner Program, or GPP, was a program where NVIDIA was going to work more closely with certain brands, but those brands had to do something, and that was kind of sell their souls, or at least it appeared that way. So the really short version of this is that brands would be rewarded with a very close relationship with NVIDIA, provided that their gaming brand that they associated with their NVIDIA graphics cards was only associated with NVIDIA graphics cards. So for example, Republic of Gamer cards, which were branded as Republic of Gamer both on the NVIDIA side and AMD side, that ROG label could then only be applied to NVIDIA cards. They could not be applied to AMD cards, or at least that seems to be what was happening. And of course, it seems to be accurate because ASUS very quickly came out with another brand, bringing back, I believe, their Ares cards. And of course, the GPP was offering a lot of incentives for those companies that, at least from the outside looking in, it seems like those companies were already enjoying. So it was more of a case of those brands really do need to be involved in the partner program. So they were forced to move their AMD products to a different lineup, much like ASUS did there with the Ares brand. And the backlash was huge. Gamers hated it. It was fairly clearly anti-consumer, and NVIDIA has canceled the program, which is just a big victory for us gamers. And some of the statement that NVIDIA released is really just kind of full of it, at least in this humble gamer's opinion. So I'll leave a link to the blog post down below that NVIDIA actually used to announce the cancellation of the GPP. But from that post, NVIDIA said, quote, "With GPP, we asked our partners to brand their cards in a way that would be crystal clear. The choice of GPU greatly defines a gaming platform, so the GPU brand should be clearly transparent, no substitute GPUs hidden behind a pile of techno jargon." See, and I can understand what NVIDIA is trying to say there. The problem is their naming of cards themselves isn't really that crystal clear. For example, there's a GTX 1060 3GB version and then a GTX 1060 6GB version, but aside from the VRAM differences, the 3GB version is actually a cut down version. So the 1060, even aside from having VRAM differences, the 6GB version is a more powerful graphics card. Or take the GT 1030, which you can now find with DDR4 RAM and is again not performing up to what the original GT 1030 was, but the naming was just maintained. So even though NVIDIA is saying the whole point of this program is actually to maintain transparency and make sure gamers know what they're getting, NVIDIA is not even practicing that with their own naming schemes. This was clearly, at least from my perspective, and I could be wrong, it just seems like this was pretty clearly a power play from NVIDIA, knowing that the market share is in their favor, especially on the gaming front, as well as the fact that they just have more resources than AMD, and card manufacturers that produce cards for both AMD and NVIDIA can't afford to give up the NVIDIA cards. So NVIDIA knew that they would stake their main brand, so in ASUS's case, again, talking about Republic of Gamer cards would be NVIDIA branded, so there's that brand recognition, and then AMD cards would be relegated to a secondary brand that wouldn't have the same name recognition. So regardless, the GPP is gone. Awesome news for gamers. Here's the real question next. Will ASUS and other companies that had moved their AMD cards to a different naming scheme, will they bring those back into the, in ASUS's case, Republic of Gamer SKUs, or will they maintain that separation? And if they do, I guess NVIDIA actually kind of got what they wanted anyways. So I guess the moral to take away from all of this is that consumers do have a voice, and we should use that voice, and we should exercise that voice when we see clear missteps by companies like NVIDIA in this case, which was just flat wrong. Consumers need to speak up and use their voice en masse, because if everyone uses their own voice, you'll have a giant crowd calling out a company for some sort of misstep, and usually that can get corrected by just consumer outcry. So that's enough. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about the cancellation of the GeForce Partner Program. I think most of us, at least the most of you that watch this channel, will really like that it was canceled. But if you don't, still let me know down below. If you like this video, give it a like, share, subscribe, all those things. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Hoosier Hardware. And as always, I'll let YouTube queue up a couple more videos from my channel for you to watch. I'm Shane with Hoosier Hardware, and I'll see you guys in the next video.